Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending, and welcome to the launch of our Provincial Crime Prevention Week. My name is Staff Sergeant Peter Wallace, 31 Division Community Support Unit. Our theme for this week, Crime Prevention Week, is Awareness in Action, keeping Ontario safe together. This is an action for all of us to work together in keeping our communities safe. I will start with our land acknowledgement, followed by remarks from our dignitaries. We acknowledge the land we are on today is a traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. We also recognize the enduring presence and contribution of people of African ancestries in Toronto and across Canada. The Toronto Police Service acknowledges all treaty peoples, including those who came here as settlers, as migrants, either in this generation or in generations past, and those of us who came here involuntarily, particularly those brought to these lands as a result of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. We pay tribute to those ancestors of African origin and descent. I will now call on our Mayor Chow to say a few words.
Good morning. It's great to be here to mark Crime Prevention Week with our Toronto Police Service. I want to acknowledge that we are joined by Dr. Joe Couto, Vice Chair of Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, and Councillor Shelley Carroll, Board Member and the Budget Chief of the Police Service Board. Now, each year, we mark this week to keep crime prevention top of mind. And this year's theme is Awareness in Action, keeping Ontario and Toronto safe together. It emphasizes how we can all work together, young and old, to learn and prevent crimes, to take everyone to create, because it takes everyone to create a safe and supportive community. And we are always stronger together. Being a victim of crime can have a big impact on your life. The psychological toll can last a lifetime, never mind about the financial loss. It shakes your sense of trust and safety at your workplace and your neighborhood, and it's hard. Now, all this week, the Toronto Police Service will be sharing information and advice on how to prevent crime, to make sure families, businesses are all safe. I know the good people at Toronto Police are always happy to stay connected and work with communities on how to prevent crime. And the City of Toronto is proud to lead programs in collaboration with the Toronto and the police and the province on reducing crime and violence. Through SafeTO, the city's 10-year community safety and well-being plan, we are working with residents, community partners, and other orders of government to make Toronto safe. Just last week, I assisted in hosting an excellent meeting with over 150 people on crime prevention and safety. There, the superintendent gave us information about the statistics of what's happening in the neighborhood, and we noticed that the assault and the robberies are down, but auto theft is up. none of that is surprising to all of you here, but for some of the residents saying, oh, people are stealing our cars. Oh, what do we do together? We had a very good dialogue about how to prevent your car from being stolen. And the police did a presentation about what device to use, what to look out for, and coming out of it, there's going to be safety walks together with the local residents and the police and the local councillor, so that they know, get an idea of where there are places that may be more lights, more cameras, more eyes on the street. There are lots of things that people can do together, but that comes through dialogue together. And I personally witnessed it last week. It was superb. We also said we're going to come back together and learn from each other. And each of the area are going to elect someone in their neighborhood to join the police community liaison team. Aha, that's even better, because that's an ongoing monthly dialogue between police and local residents and businesses on how to prevent crime. Isn't that marvelous? And we also said we'll come back together, so it's not just one time only. We'll come back in mid-February to look at the numbers to see whether it's gone up, gone down, and whether the reporting rate have gone up, the solving rate, I think there's a technical word for it, clearance rate has gone up or not. And I'm sure it would have, because with all the local residents, it would be really, we'll see good results. And that gym that I was at was packed with people. And it was our way to kick off this crime prevention week. Now, aside from working together, police and the city, we need to include young people, because what we need to do is to expand youth programs, recreation programs, more funding. Yeah, youth hub. Yeah, so after school, there'll be good things to do, right? So that we can help young people and children find purpose, so that they don't feel that they've been left behind. They don't feel alienated, that they are able to pick up new skills, new, employment too, that's important, and connecting with their friends and peers, because connection is important. After COVID, people are feeling a bit isolated, right? They have mental health, some have mental health issues, so we need to work on that angle on prevention also. And I know our budget chief and I and the city council are also very much engaged in looking at ways to support our young people that way. Now, I also know that Toronto Police, they put their life on the line every day, in every moment for all of us. And there have been several incidents recently where officers were injured while doing their duties. Last year, it wasn't just the officer, it was a dog and bingo, and the police horse recently was attacked. So every officer deserved to come home safe. And we too need to keep that as a top priority. So let's work together to prevent crime. Yes, give her a hug. Yes, because we're always stronger together, right? We are stronger together. Thank you so much for being here. And let me introduce Councillor Shelley Carroll and the Toronto Police Board member and our budget chief. Councillor Carroll.
Thank you so much, Mayor Chow, and welcome everyone. I also want to thank Staff Sergeant Wallace. I want to thank Staff Superintendent Belanger, who is here on behalf of the chief today, Acting Superintendent Paletta. Dr. Joe Couto, who I will introduce in a second, is here from the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. Honored guests, members of the Toronto Police Service, and all of our community friends this morning, I'm really thrilled to welcome you as we launch the 2024 Crime Prevention Week. This is a week that's more than just a moment on the calendar. And it's more than a week. A lot of us have memories of Crime Prevention Week in our elementary school setting. We remember our officers coming to speak to us as children. But this year we want to make doubly sure that everyone embraces Crime Prevention Week. It's an important opportunity for all of us to unite and really start working hand in hand to prevent crime, to build safe, resilient communities all across Ontario. It's about empowering you to get involved, to share in local safety matters, such as the CPLC that the Mayor just described. We should all see Crime Prevention Week as a call to action. We can gather to discuss what matters most. We can take an active role in crime prevention in each of our little neighborhoods. We can make safety a priority. It's a shared responsibility, and so we should all embrace it. This year's theme, Awareness in Action, Keeping Ontarians Safe Together, highlights a common goal across the province, and it reminds us of the power of sharing information. Building strong partnerships between police and the public, and embracing that collaborative strategy that keeps Toronto a safe place for everyone. A key way that we are doing this is through a partnership between the police and another responding service, the Toronto Community Crisis Centre. That service is now citywide. Now, this initiative is there as our 4th municipal emergency service. This makes it possible for police to be much more present for more priority calls, because we now have this extra service helping with those calls for people having a mental health personal crisis. It provides a trauma-informed, community-based response to mental health crisis and for wellness checks. And it's one that the Toronto Police Service embraces. We can all respond to those calls. Now there are choices. Delivering the support to this community is a key need, and it really can make a difference. Because collaboration is crucial, we've got to listen to our communities and prioritize our needs, and that's exactly where the Toronto Community Crisis Service originated from, the community. By empowering our service members to be champions in every neighborhood, we can create very sustainable solutions that make a real difference, neighborhood by neighborhood. And we face many challenges in Toronto. We all know that. From intimate partner violence, retail theft, carjackings. Today you're going to hear detailed information about these issues and more. And we work together on these situations. We work to find the most strategic solutions. We know that the most effective crime prevention strategies are action-oriented, multifaceted, and adaptable to our ever-changing circumstances in the city. In attendance today, we have representatives from community agencies, from BIAs, stakeholders from the Black Creek neighborhood, and neighborhood community officers from across the Toronto Police Service. They are truly the gems in each neighborhood. This gathering showcases the incredible work of these individuals and the work they do as groups, committed to our common goal, which is community safety. Together, we can create safer, stronger communities throughout Toronto. We must continue to use this collaborative approach that we're developing in Toronto. Each year, we get better and better at it. Where police and the community engage to ensure neighborhoods are safe and healthy and nurturing environments, that's when we're most successful. This approach establishes us as a global leader in community policing, and we must build on that and continuously improve, striving for excellence. And I know from my work in the board that that is exactly what our officers are doing day by day by day. So as we embark on this year's Crime Prevention Week, I invite everyone, all members of the public, young people, police service members, community organizations, and all of us as government representatives. We all want to come together. Let's ensure that the communities remain safe and welcoming. We want to be one of the most welcoming cities in the world. It's really the Mayor's motto, and we take it seriously. Crime Prevention Week is very much a part of that. Finally, on behalf of the Toronto Police Services Board, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Toronto Police Service and our dedicated community partners who work with them for their ongoing commitment to crime prevention throughout our city. And I want to thank all of the community members who just stopped by and are sharing this with us. I hope that, particularly in this location, people will be stopping by all week to take advantage of all the information available. Thank you so much. I want to hand it over now to someone, because this really is an Ontario-wide initiative. We really want to make sure that people realize that Toronto is a partner as well with other communities and other police services. So I want to introduce the Vice Chair of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, Dr. Joe Couto.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Your Worship, Mayor Chow, Councillor Shelley, Carroll, members of the Toronto Police Service, and especially members of the community here. I want to say how impressed I am to see so many people out, not just our police and our elected officials out here. It's great to have all of you, but all members of the community here. Today, you're joining communities across the province in doing this, to launch Crime Prevention Week across the province in partnership with the Ontario government. The Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police is very proud to support our police services like the Toronto Police Service in the incredible work that they do, not only to do what they do the very best in the world in terms of law enforcement, and there's no greater police organizations in the world that do policing like Toronto Police and all our Ontario police services, but also the stuff that you may not hear about in terms of police work, which is the community collaboration, the community policing, supporting communities, to empower the communities, because crime prevention isn't just about responding to calls. Crime prevention isn't just crime prevention, it's also building communities. And I can tell you that all our 43 police services, the OPP, municipal, regional services, our 9 Indigenous communities, and the RCMP, they work collaboratively and together to put the #1 group that we serve, and that's the people of Toronto and of Ontario. And we can never lose that. You know, we are very busy, as the mayor and the councillor have indicated, you know, how complex crime prevention is. I can tell you that the problems that we have in terms of keeping our community safe, they're shared ones across the province. And today, that's why police services are coming together with their communities. And I really want to emphasize that. Crime prevention is about community building. And I see a lot of faces here, obviously from the community, and that really makes me feel good, because if I can just talk personally, I came to this country when I was 10 years old. Toronto has been my home. I'm very proud to live in Etobicoke. I'm proud to live in this community of nations, of people who have come here to Toronto and to Ontario to make their lives good, and it's the greatest place on earth. I have to tell you that. And that's because I grew up here. I have made my life here, and I'm so grateful. And I think a lot of you would probably say the same thing. Whether you're born here or you're born somewhere else, this is home. And we have a duty to each other, and that's to keep everybody safe. That's the message that we are delivering here. And our police, our sworn members, our civilian members, they are the most dedicated people that you will find on this planet when it comes to not only law enforcement, but also helping people in crisis, poverty, addictions, mental health. No issue is too small for our police officers and our civilian members, our special constables, our auxiliary members to dedicate their lives to. So I want to thank all of you who are here from the Toronto Police Service for making this an amazing kickoff, not only in Ontario's capital, but you're joining, as I said, your colleagues across the province. And where Ontario leads, others in this country follow. So your dedication to crime prevention, to community policing, to community building, to social justice is noticed and emulated across this province. And I really, really want to thank you for that. And thank you for having me here. I'm very, very pleased to introduce my friend, Staff Sergeant Don Belanger, just one of so many of the amazing officers in this city who are making a difference. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that, Joe, and for your very kind comments about our members of the Toronto Police Service. I'd also like to thank Mayor Chow for her comments, as well as Councillor Carroll. As a service, we know that recent crime trends have had an impact on our residents and businesses and on the perception of public safety. Many in our communities are concerned about auto theft, break-and-enters, and gun violence, to name a few. As a police service, our number one job is to keep people safe. This means making arrests, going after criminals, and importantly, it also means focusing on prevention. Crime prevention is a shared responsibility, and Crime Prevention Week is an opportunity to ask residents to get involved, whether it's by learning more about local safety resources or simply by looking out for our neighbours. It requires all of us to work together to help keep our homes, communities, and workplaces safe. Throughout the year, the Toronto Police Service holds a variety of crime prevention initiatives. I think of last month's Interfaith Prayer Walk to build bridges and stand up against violence. I think of the Hate campaign, promoting safe spaces for our 2S LGBTQIA+ communities. I think of large-scale collaborations like the Provincial Carjacking Task Force. And I think of our long-standing partnerships with Crime Stoppers, victim services, and others on a wide range of issues to protect and support our communities and those victimized by crime. I would like to thank the Retail Council of Canada and once again, the OACP for their inclusion of the Toronto Police Service in the development and launch of the Retail Safety and Security Guide, released during Small Business Week back on October 21st. I'll again encourage our retail business operators and employees to download the guide by clicking the link on our crime prevention page on the Toronto Police website. I also encourage residents and business owners to reach out to their local police divisions to schedule a crime prevention through environmental design audit. It's what we call a CPTED audit. A crime prevention or a neighborhood community officer will come to your home or business to provide advice on things you can do to reduce your chances of being victimized. Another concerning issue we want to address is intimate partner violence. And as you may know, November is Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month. During the month, we will be raising awareness, encouraging reporting, and promoting the various agencies that assist victims of intimate partner violence here in our city. We'll do so both by raising awareness within our communities, as well as through a social media campaign. And here we are standing next to a Shoppers Drug Mart, one of the partners that has implemented the, quote, Ask for Angela campaign, spearheaded right here in Toronto, in Canada, by Victim Services Toronto. When victims of gender-based violence use the code phrase, "Is Angela here?" at participating Loblaws and Shoppers Drug Mart stores, staff are actually trained to bring the victim to a safe space to allow them to seek the support they need. All these initiatives count. All these initiatives make a difference. All these initiatives help to keep Ontario safe together, which has been mentioned is a theme of this year's Crime Prevention Week. Once again, thank you to everyone for being here, especially our community members here in the Jane Finch community. Community safety is something we all play a role in during Crime Prevention Week and every day. Thank you, and I would now like to introduce the unit commander of our Community Partnerships and Engagement Unit, Superintendent Anthony Paletta.
Good morning, everybody. It is an absolute pleasure to be here this morning, and again, welcome you all for coming, and I thank you for your support. On behalf of the Community Partnerships and Engagement Unit, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Her Worship, Mayor Chow, thank you, for Dr. Joe Couto and his remarks this morning, Councillor Shelley Carroll and the Toronto Police Services Board, Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew, the command team, Staff Superintendent Belanger, Superintendent Mann, the Divisional Unit Commander of 31 Division. I would also like to acknowledge the attendance of the local BIAs, our community partners, members of the public, all of the service members that are here today, Your collaboration has already made a significant impact on community safety and well-being. I look forward to continuing our efforts during Crime Prevention Week to make our communities even safer. A final thank you to all the staff and management of the Jane Finch Mall. Your assistance and support for this initiative is extremely appreciated. The initiatives that are taking place this week, such as the one that we here have today, are a true element of community policing. The 3 Ps are present. We have problem solving, prevention, and partnership. Those 3 elements are key. And without everybody's contributions, we would not be where we are today. Thank you for those contributions, and once again, I look forward to our continued collaboration. I'm now going to turn it over back to Staff Sergeant Wallace.
Thank you. We're now at our question period. If the media could please identify yourself prior to asking the questions. Thank you.
Good, none. Okay, we can leave.
Oh, there's one.
Who's the person?
Thank you for the question. This is an unfolding issue in our city with respect to micro-mobility devices and what is legal versus what is not legal. Our main concern is the safety of individuals that are utilizing these devices in the city. Some of them hit very high speeds, as we know. Often we see people not wearing helmets. When you combine that with particularly our downtown congestion, it certainly creates a safety issue for the users as well as for drivers, frankly, and pedestrians. So it's really, the focus is on safety and what is legal and not legal, and you'll certainly see additional information coming out of the city and the service on that. Mayor, did you have anything to add?
Do you need that? That's good? Good enough? Okay. Nope.
Thanks.
That's it?
Any other questions? No? Thank you again, everyone, for coming.